Have you gained some weight and want to know how to lose it? Stay tuned for this interesting reading about a woman who wants to shed 25 pounds. Hi everybody, I'm Sue Allen Clayton. Welcome to my channel where we're learning how to read tarot one card at a time. In today's video, we'll be using a 3-card spread to answer the question, will I be able to lose at least 25 pounds? I will be using the Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot, and there is a link below. This question was posted anonymously online, and it is a subject that I can certainly relate to these days. My weight has been stable for quite a while, but thanks to a lot of steroids over the last few months to help me deal with a respiratory infection, I've gained about 10 pounds. It's not a fun place to be, so I'm paying attention to this too. The querent didn't mention that she used a spread. However, I will be using a release, embrace, outcome spread to help figure out if she can lose 25 pounds. Card number 1, what I need to release, will identify what the querent needs to let go of, and the querent pulled the King of Wands. Card number 2, what I need to embrace, will identify what the querent needs to focus on, and the querent pulled the Knight of Wands. And card number 3, outcome, will give us the likely result of these changes, and the querent pulled the 8 of Cups. First, let's talk about my first impressions. It is all minor arcana cards, 2 of which are wands. None of the cards are in sunlight. The King of Wands looks like daytime, the Knight of Wands is kind of a smoky background, and the 8 of Cups is clearly at night. The first 2 cards are facing towards the past, and the 8 of Cups is walking toward the future. All 3 people are holding some kind of a stick in their right hand. So let's look at each card individually. Card number 1, what I need to release, will identify what the querent needs to let go of, and the querent pulled the King of Wands. The King of Wands represents someone who is confident, focused, and determined to get things done, even if it means taking a risk, choosing an out-of-the-box solution, or not following the rules. This king has no problem rising to the challenge, and as you can see from the flames on his crown, he can be a bit hot-tempered. The suit of wands is all about taking action, so it's surprising that these are qualities that the querent needs to release. The king is facing towards the past, so I guess that her previous methods of weight loss weren't very successful. Otherwise, she'd not be 25 pounds overweight. I had to think about dieting approaches that would go with a strong-willed, get it done quickly kind of focus. And I think these would be things like fasting or crash diets that take the weight off quickly but don't tend to be successful long-term. So I think one thing the querent needs to do is adopt a more long-term, slower approach to losing weight. The King of Wands can also be a risk taker and likes out-of-the-box solutions. This tells me that the querent may have chosen some weight loss solutions that were either fad diets or something she came up with on her own. I have been in the diet world long enough to remember a lot of these, including the Atkins diet, the cabbage soup diet, and the South Beach diet. Recently, there was the HCG diet, intermittent fasting, and now we have weight loss injections such as Wegovy and Ozempic. They are big fads, and then people discover they don't work long-term or have dangerous side effects. I also noticed that the King of Wands is sitting on a throne, so I think another thing that the querent needs to give up is her sedentary lifestyle. She needs to get active. The final thing has to do with the fiery temper. Perhaps this is contributing to her overeating. I think most of us have comfort foods that we use to help regulate our moods. So maybe when the querent gets angry, she comforts herself by diving into a bowl of ice cream or potato chips. So she would benefit from releasing some old habits and learning more positive ways to deal with her anger. That brings me to the issue of self-control. Wands are all about action, and I can see the querent acting without thinking. Maybe she gets an inkling for pizza and is placing an order 30 seconds later. So I think the querent needs to give up this quick response and learn a way to delay her unhealthy food choices, perhaps by taking a shower or calling a friend when she's tempted to order takeout. Card number 2, what I need to embrace, we'll identify what the querent needs to focus on. And the querent pulled the Knight of Wands. Knights have a lot of passion, and the Knight of Wands is the most passionate and action-oriented of the knights. We can see him riding on the back of a horse into battle. I think this brings up two things that the querent needs to embrace. The first is exercise. She needs to find a form of exercise that she loves to do and embrace it wholeheartedly. That might be horseback riding, or yoga, or kickboxing, and then truly commit to that exercise. The focus should be on enjoying moving her body rather than exercising simply to burn calories. The second thing the querent needs to figure out is what she wants her future to look like, and then take the appropriate actions to make that happen. Clearly she wants to be 25 pounds thinner, but does she want to continue to gain and lose the same 25 pounds for the rest of her life? Are there other health-related goals that might be better to focus on than the number on the scale? I know for me, I have a very long history of diabetes, and so I'm always interested in keeping my A1C, which is a measure of blood sugar, as low as possible. Something else that I like to focus on is my bone density. For other people, it might be cholesterol, blood pressure, resting heart rate, number of hours of sleep, or how many push-ups you can do in a minute. So those are measures that might impact your weight, but they are also more about health, and those might be better goals for the querent to embrace. You've made it this far in the video, and I wanted to stop and ask a favor if you're not already a subscriber, and that is to please hit the subscribe button. It's free for you, and it will also help me grow this channel. Plus, it means that you won't miss anything. Thanks so much, and if you're already a subscriber, I truly appreciate your ongoing support. Now let's get back to the video. And card number 3, outcome, will give us the likely result of these changes, and the querent pulled the 8 of Cups. In the 8 of Cups, we see a person walking away. I think this represents the querent walking away from her old ideas. We've gone from a fiery, showy suit of wands to the more introspective, emotional suit of cups. Her purpose of losing weight is no longer to show off, it's to find a deep level of fulfillment that goes beyond the size of her jeans. So what is she walking away from? I think these are the unhealthy habits that we talked about in the first card. She's realized that her habits have not been working and is walking away from fad dieting, a sedentary lifestyle, and using food as comfort. Instead, she's decided to explore a new path towards good health that involves moving her body in a way she enjoys. She also gives up focusing on the number on the scale and chooses other ways of monitoring her health, including how she feels about her body. This card is the Suit of Cups, which represents water, and we also see water in the stream. Water is about emotions. I think she's looking to achieve emotional healing along the way. If you look at how the cups are stacked, there appears to be a missing cup, and I think she's decided to look at what was missing in her life so that she achieves true healing beyond just losing a few pounds. She has switched from wanting to show off to looking inward and dealing with her emotions. I hope that this video gave you some ideas that you can apply to your tarot practice. I think it provides some great insight into meeting your weight loss goals. Please leave a comment if you'd like to share what you've learned. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.